Thank you, Roland. Instead of having a verbal translation, since the text is also in a digital mode, we thought it might be possible to have the French one on the board and the English verbal speech from here. Puisque le texte existe, on a pensé que ce serait plus léger d'avoir un seul discours et pas deux à la suite. It's too soon to draw conclusions as we come almost to the end of this forum. It is too soon because we probably need time to appreciate fully the richness of our exchanges, and we need time to think about what we have experienced over these days. The very fact that this forum has taken place is, for me, a source of hope. The very fact that this forum has taken place is really a source of hope. We have met each other. Some of us have met before, in Paris or in Dublin or in La Nellière, or during a trip with students in Malgrad, Blackburn, Rome or elsewhere. And some people we haven't met before. We have also tried to widen the horizon outside the Marist Fathers network. In this sense, we have been happy to welcome guests from the Marist Sisters School in England, Marist brothers and their colleagues from Italy and from Ireland. We have been enriched by several inspiring talks and presentations. We have shared many experiences and good practices. We have prayed together and we have celebrated our Marist identity. I see all of this as signs of life, and it gives me hope. Yes, there is a second point. Thank you. You may remember that I mentioned in my short opening talk the ongoing crisis we are confronted with in the present context. Financial crisis, economic crisis, crisis in the transmission of our core values, etc. It is difficult not to be deeply marked by this undeniable reality, but at the same time, I ask myself, is there a risk of being caught in a kind of nostalgia if we think too much in terms of crisis? As if once the crisis is over, we might get back to a context with which we are more familiar. Yes, these crises are occurring indeed, and we need to take them into account. But we need to pay careful attention to what is new, to what is in the process of coming to be. I was very impressed last month at Charles de Gaulle Airport on my way to Ireland when I saw a large poster on the wall. It was not long after the Paralympic Games. There was a female athlete with what were very clearly two artificial legs. This lady said, "I focus on what I have and not on what I lost." I know by experience as Provincial of the Marist European province that it is not easy to adopt this attitude. Easy to say, but not easy to put into practice. Nevertheless, it is my conviction that if we want to promote hope, we need to focus our attention on what is in the process of becoming. Stronger than ever, the forum is not finished. It has just opened a number of doors. We have to continue the work, to work together, collaboratively, to explore the landscape that this forum opens up before us. We will return tomorrow to our respective places with a collection of important landmarks outlined during these days in the presentations, during the recreations, the prayers, during the visit of the city, and so on. And these landmarks are, to say a few, the importance of having a clearer sense of our identity, a shared understanding of the values we want to promote, a greater familiarity with the Marist history and tradition from which we come. Of course, one of the major landmarks in our collection is a better knowledge and maybe ownership of who Jean-Claude Collin was and what he stood for. Although we come to the end of this forum, this is another reason to repeat that the work is to be continued, especially around the figure of the founder, as we have just started a year of Collin. L'Annelière is a place where these landmarks find a unique expression. I heard from the pilgrims to the Marist places coming from Ireland over the last few years with some of their colleagues from England. I heard something of such an experience. And this is an announcement or a proposal. We have been thinking a lot as a European Education Committee what could be a concrete step towards reaching a common formulation of Marist ethos throughout the European province. That very reflection went on yesterday afternoon in the small groups, and indeed this morning. This is not in the French text. That ça a continué ce matin. As one way of continuing the challenge of such a common formulation of the Marist ethos, the Education Committee, Bruno Chanel, Kevin Jennings, Dominique Velbrun, Martin McElhenney, and myself, our committee proposed that we explore the possibility of adopting a presentation which will combine visual elements like an image or a logo with a set of core values relevant in the field of Marist education today in Europe. The Education Committee wishes to establish an international working group and to give it clear terms of reference. Those who are interested to offer their contribution, please make contact with Dominique or one of us in the committee before leaving tomorrow. So do it today if you can. As Roland has suggested, my speech is not finished, but the other part will be for later. I have a number 5, just to say that at some stage I would like to say thank you to many of you, and I will do that later. So just to say that if this forum is a source of hope, it's also a source of gratitude. Merci.